Hey guys, so in this example we'd like to compute the surface area and the volume of the pyramid that is shown here. So this is a pyramid with a square base, 4 by 4, and then the slant, not exactly the slant height, but the lengths of these edges are 6 feet. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to find a couple of things, right? So we need to find for the surface area, I think we're good to go, right? We just need to find the area of the faces, so we're going to have to find the slant height for sure. So the slant height is this height right here. This is supposed to be from the vertex down to this base and form a right angle. So I'll call that S for the slant height. And then to find the volume, we're going to have to know the actual height. This goes from the vertex down to the center. So this one's here. This is H. And together those two shapes there, those two lines form, if you connect this line here, this has to be 2, right? Because it goes to the center. So we can use that 2 to help us find either one of them. Once we have one of them, we can find the other one. So we should probably start with the slant height here. So to find the slant height, we can kind of extract one of these triangles. Let's take this front face here. It's going to be an isosceles triangle. And remember, isosceles triangle, so it has base of 4 and then the legs have length 6. Isosceles triangles have the property that the altitude is also the median. So in other words, it cuts this in half, so we have length 2 over here. And at this point, so S is the unknown, we have a right triangle and we know two sides. So we can apply the Pythagorean theorem. And the Pythagorean theorem, Pythagoras says what? It says that s squared plus 2 squared has to equal 6 squared, right? And so s squared, in other words, is equal to 36 minus 4, 6 squared minus 2 squared. So s squared is equal to 32, and therefore s, our slant height, is equal to the square root of 32. All right, so there we go. That's exactly what we needed. Now, once we have that, we can use it to find the height here. We're going to have to go back and compute the surface area, but that's fine. Well, let's find all the parts first, and then we'll go back and plug them in. So the height here, the height of the pyramid itself, that comes from a triangle. We've built a triangle here that looks like the following. So this is to find, so this was here to find the slant height. And down here we just want to find the height of the pyramid. So to find the height of the pyramid, we have a triangle that has slant right here equal to root 32, and then 2 at the base, and then the height here. This is another Pythagorean theorem. It's very similar, right? So this time we have root 32 quantity squared equals h squared plus 2 squared, and we do kind of the same deal, right? So this now is 32 equals h squared plus 4. We rearrange and we get that h is going to be equal to the square root of 32 minus 4, that's 28. This is 2 root 7 if you want to reduce it. This one up here is actually 2 root 8, right? 16 times 2 is 4 root 2. So this one's 4 root 2. Let's use that. Okay, so now we've got these both fully reduced. We've got our s, we've got our h. We can use them to compute the area and the volume of this thing. So let's just remind ourselves that s was 4 root 2 and h was 2 root 7. Yep, just make sure we got them right. And then we can write down the formulas for this. So obviously the surface area, call it capital S, it's the sum of the areas of all the parts. So the base area is 4 times 4, it's a square, right? So 4 squared. Plus the areas of all of these things are base times height divided by 2. So 1/2 times, there's 4 copies of this, right? So let me write it a little bit different order. There's 4 faces times the area is 1/2 times the base, which is 4, times the slant height. And the slant height is 4 times root 2. Okay, and then we can just work this out, right? So we cancel here and here, that gives us a 2. And we end up with the surface area of this pyramid being 16 plus, this is going to be 32 root 2. All right, so there's the surface area of our pyramid. The volume, remember the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 times the base area. This capital A is the base area times the height. So that's why we needed the height here. The base area we just computed was 4 times 4, right? 16. And we know that the height, we computed that is 2√7. So this is 1/3 times 4 squared times 2√7. And this whole thing, there's no reduction that we can do. So this is just going to be 32/3 times √7. So the volume is 32 times √7 all over 3. So 32√7 over 3. All right, this is in, by the way, we should always keep our units. This is in feet cubed for volume, and this is in feet squared for surface area.